I quite often underestimate. I underestimate because it's like low-hanging fruit to attack is just straight up propagandistic news media. Whether you think that I myself am engaging in something purely self-indulgent, or whether you think that I might be trying to contribute something to society or ideas, regardless your opinion of me or my opinion of you, if we meet, if big news apparatus, whether it's algorithmic, it's always algorithmic. An algorithm is a function. So an algorithm is an ideal object. So ultimately it doesn't depend on material substrate. Algorithm. But a function, a map, is a mapping from one value to another. I mean, there are technical distinctions between function and algorithm, but in the practical sense, you map an input to an output, you map one term to another. So, an algorithm, a function, or a rule following. So news media, propagandistic news media based on rule following, blind rule following, prescriptivistic rule following, normativity. But news journalism, the normative dimension of news journalism is supposed to be sophisticated. It's supposed to be fair and balanced, objective, impartial, disinterested is a strong word, and it is supposed to be truly disinterested. How a journalist is to remain disinterested is always an interesting question. The disinterested journalist. The disinterested propagandistic news media pipeline. See, no matter what I say, if I'm a woke libtard, I'm a woke libtard. If all you listen to is the one set of talking heads, and they say, oh yeah, that communist, Dimitri, have you seen that guy? Yeah, that guy's communist. Yeah, did you hear? He's a communist atheist. That would be incorrect. Those are false statements. Whatever a communist is, I am not. No, that's not true. I mean, who knows what a communist is? That's the point. Nobody knows what communism is because we don't have a theory of communism. Because nobody takes it seriously to talk about. Everybody thinks, oh, listen to me, universal quantification. Everybody thinks just about. I mean, discourse on Marx is shit. Maybe for Hegel. Because everybody. The temptation is, how tempting. To treat the subject matter as self-indulgently speculative and, in the end, moot and academic, inconsequential, of little practical import. How do you know? How do you know right now? Are you following a rule? How do you know? Do you know because a rule tells you, or do you know because you've been listening to what I'm saying and thinking through the thoughts? Oh, here's another one that I like, and this I think is percolating through the culture. You know, I don't trust groups or institutions. I only trust individuals. That idea. That's massively intuitive. Because we all know at least one person that we feel like we can trust. At least one person that's not your own self that you can trust. Who's alive? I bet. At least one. We all have at least one person. Almost by metaphysical necessity, structurally. How could you not? Like one person that you trust. Let's say it's not even like a hard distinction. Let's say like that you have reason to believe that you could make an educated guess that you could trust that one person. So who perpetuates all of the propagandistic, overgeneralized black and white thinking? Propagandistic news media. Draws attention to the hostility of division. The hostility of division. Because why? Synthesis is boring? I don't know. It's never boring to me. I mean, there are plenty of synthetic experiences that people love. You know, like, how about fucking somebody that you just met, right? That's like a massively, metabolically, conceptually synthetic experience. Like, in order to make that happen, all kinds of synthesis is happening. And that's, it's it's not an unpopular thing. And it's not an unpopular form of enjoyment. I don't know how common it is. It's fairly common. People fuck all the time who just met. With how much help from propagandistic news media? Oh, I don't know. You can say some cynical things about that. We can look at our cities and so on, Minneapolis, Portland, Maine, and get skittish and get freaked out, or why not just listen to their theorists? Who's they? The people, whoever it is that are arguing, making the arguments representing the side of the president, Trump. They're not easy to find any cogent arguments, but the ones that you can find are very instructive. It's a matter of emphasis. With Bannon especially, I don't know. Bannon I have a feel for. Consider Bannon's own affinities with Marxism, Leninism, if not Leninism, Stalinism. I direct your attention to some quotation that appeared on The Guardian shortly after the inauguration in 2017. It's up on my Instagram. I posted it at the time. And Bannon's on record saying, he's almost quoting Lenin. And he's definitely kind of idolizing Lemon. That's a slip, because they just arrested Don Lemon. Lenin. About burning it down. Bannon said, I will botch the quote because the quote is on my Instagram, so, go find the quote. Yeah, I just want to burn it all down. Just like Lenin. Something like that. I don't know how. It's definitely interesting also to consider that Bannon is not making arguments for the sake of, oligarchy in itself, ostensibly, or elitism in itself. No. He seems quite anti-elitist. Not so far from the working man. Indeed, that is coextensive with Bannon's own history. Bannon has much more in common with Marx than most card-carrying blue state Democrats that I can tell. Because the kind of I don't know, plebeian or hoi polloi, I don't want to speak unfairly, hard industrial strength populist sort of blood and guts approach of Steve Bannon is get your hands dirty, get your head out of the book, get your head out of the dusty book, and get your hands dirty. So I don't know who's more Marxian or even Marxist. I mean, who's the real Marxist these days? It's Steve Bannon, right? I mean, that's perfectly analytic statement.